Hi, I'm Juju Blackman. I created this landscape using my Hoodoo magic. It's a series of guided meditations, yoga instructions, and ancestral and therapeutic techniques. This is Healing Through Hoodoo with Juju Blackman. Let's do a hypnosis session to overcome anti-Blackness and transphobia. It's important to consider this episode includes an imagined age regression technique. If you have concerns about the effects of age regression techniques and hypnosis, please consult a licensed healthcare professional before taking part in this exercise. The threat of anti-Blackness is real. The threat of transphobia and transmisogyny is real. Your anger and frustration and fears surrounding it warrants them. In this episode, I'm going to guide you through a hypnotherapy exercise which will allow you to overcome any fears you may have regarding anti-Blackness, transphobia, and transmisogyny, and to use your fear, anger, and frustration to defend yourself against them. As you listen to my voice, you'll permanently release any recessed memories surrounding anti-Blackness and transmisogyny, overcoming the intruding thoughts created by them, which may seem to impair you in certain social settings. You may react with anxiety to thoughts of harassment and the threat of violence from anti-Black people and transmisogynists. These threats cause nightmares or stop you from sharing healthy relationships with the people you love or even cause you to feel lonely. You may also use this exercise for other fears and phobias unrelated to transmisogyny. Maybe you have a fear of heights or of a certain animal or insect. Hypnosis brings a managed subconsciousness to the front of the mind to learn more about it and overcome the fears hidden within it. Before you go into your hypnosis, I want you to consider some things. You can close your eyes now or leave them open until the hypnosis begins. I want you to be fully awake and aware of yourself while you answer a few questions. Answering these questions in your mind will open it to a more successful hypnosis. Attach any sensory details such as images, smells, or feelings to these questions that you would like. Don't judge your mind as it wanders. The more detailed you are with your response, the more you will get from this hypnosis. You may sit or lie down and relax. Then mentally hype yourself about the idea of releasing your fears. Now ask yourself, what would your life be like if you didn't live with fears surrounding anti-Blackness and transmisogyny? Now ask yourself what your life would be like if you didn't live with fears surrounding anti-Blackness and transmisogyny. What experience do you think causes you most fear surrounding anti-Blackness? What experience do you think causes you most fear surrounding transmisogyny? How much time in your life has been spent worrying about fear surrounding anti-Blackness and transmisogyny? Is there anything you will lose from letting go of your fears surrounding anti-Blackness and transmisogyny and transphobia? What will you positively gain from releasing your anxiety surrounding transphobia and anti-Blackness? When would you like to see a positive change in your life from releasing your anxiety around transphobia and anti-Blackness? Have you consciously considered the answer to all of these questions? Okay, Let's begin your hypnosis exercise. Tell yourself now that in the next few moments, you will decide to think of all the solutions to rid yourself of any anxiety or fear surrounding transphobia and anti-Blackness and racism. Find a position you feel most comfortable. Really strive to achieve maximum comfort. Lay or sit in a position where your body is supported so that you may lay limp and comfortable. If you've forgotten the answers to the questions I asked, good. If you still remember the answers to these questions, let them slowly drift away to the side of your mind. Close your eyes now if you haven't already, but remember that you are free to wake up whenever you want or need to. Allow a sense of deep transformation to wash over your being. Relax your mind, body, and soul. Open yourself to your deepest desires and dreams so that you can allow those dreams to exist outside your subconsciousness and work on your front-facing ego. Remember that this moment is about you. Unfortunately, this isn't a time for family and friends. Take a brief look at your past. Notice how you feel about it. Then think about who you are now. Bring your rawest self to the front of your mind. Become hyper aware of how you appear to others. Now think about the deepest desire surrounding who you want to be. Notice your breath. Breathe slowly. Breathe in. And breathe out. In a moment, I'm going to have you count backward from 100. But I want you to visualize the shape of the numbers like a huge neon storefront sign towering in front of you. As you count backward, the numbers become smaller and smaller. After each number, say to yourself, I'm more rooted than before. I'm more rooted than before. Acknowledging that your connection with your subconscious is deeper than the last number. There will come a time when the number gets so small you realize they are fading away, then disappear completely. But if you forget where you are in the sequence, that's okay. This means that hypnosis is working for you. Start counting right now. 100. I'm more rooted than before. I'm more rooted than before. 99. I'm more rooted than before. I'm more rooted than before. Really notice just how relaxed you can get. Really allow your body to let go and your limbs loose like noodles. But maintain a sense of comfortability. But maintain a sense of comfort. Challenge yourself to be completely irreverent and indulge in this relaxation. 98. I'm more rooted than before. I'm more rooted than before. Inhale slowly. "97. I'm more rooted than before. I'm more rooted than before." and exhale. "96. I'm more rooted than before. I'm more rooted than before." Those numbers are slowly getting smaller. 95. I'm more rooted than before. I'm more rooted than before. 94. I'm more rooted than before. I'm more rooted than before. Now continue counting in the back of your mind, in your subconscious mind, and bring yourself to pay attention to what I'm saying at the front of your mind. As those numbers completely fade away, double down on your relaxation and your sense of calm. You are so calm. Peace like a river. Enjoy the sensation of having no other obligations to anything right now but this hypnosis and connecting more and more with your subconscious. No matter how deep you travel within your subconscious, your conscious mind will always be awake just enough to hear my voice. As you indulge in this moment of luxury, envision yourself as the confident person you are and the more confident person you desire to be. Can you feel that tingling sensation like butterflies throughout your body? Maybe even your toes? That's the possibility of limitlessness that exists within you. Continue and breathe deeply as you wander your subconscious mind. You can trust it more to do this for you. You're becoming more confident in this hypnosis, in this meditation. Your subconscious is reminding you about the cyclical nature of life. It knows that a new day will come tomorrow, and that after tomorrow always comes a new era, a new decade. Your subconscious knows that things change over time, but there's nothing new under the sun, so it's better to move with the tide than to hold on to old values that no longer serve you. Find a memory where you made a distinct evolution in your life. Find a memory where you eventually found yourself on the other side of your fear. Now don't look too far back, but I want you to notice how you are spending time right now near your mind's door. They are peaceful. These are the doors you walk through when you grow, and you're ready to move from one frame of mind to the next. As you walk through one of these doors, inching closer to an unused space of growth, notice the smells. Notice the sights and sounds of the newfound sense of agency that you feel and alternative possibilities you see. This is a safe space your subconscious creates. This is the best possible safe space in the universe. Exist here. Dream here. Use all of your senses to exist here. Here's where you leave all your anger and finally rest. How do you relax here? Do you lie on a chase in this space in your mind? Or do you fly here? Do you float? Or do you lay in the grass? However you like to vibe here, you feel most protected and loved. As we move on, remember this space. Remember that you can come back to this safe space by just thinking, I am safe. Now that you know at any point, you may return to this safe place by simply thinking, I am safe. Turn your mind to a memory where the fear you want to work on lies. We're going to work on that issue more directly. Begin to move away from your safe place. That space is always going to be with you. Its strength and love will always be with you. Feel yourself move into new corridors and through new archways of possibilities. It smells different, it looks different, and feels different. There are unfamiliar sounds and colors here. Now realize that you've stumbled across a very interesting room. Here you can project your own memories onto the big screen. You see a nice, comfortable chair and you take a seat. You see yourself sinking down into this lush, comfortable seat. You look up and you see a wide movie theater screen where you know you can upload any moment from your life to view it. As you sit in the comfortable seat, you use your senses to root yourself deeper in this room. You feel in complete control. You feel safe. You see yourself holding the universal remote to this screening room that seems to be the controller of your life. You can watch anything you want. Now think of your anti-Black experience or experience with transphobia where the root of your anxiety exists. Because somewhere in your past, there was that very moment where you associated one image with another, one sound with another, one feeling with another that led you to your safe space. Recognize that your subconscious, that you could produce those feelings of anxiety and fear in order to protect you from actual threats of dangers to yourself. Think of the moment when your subconscious mind used the resources that it had, and it did the best that it could to protect you from transphobia and from anti-Blackness. Now thank that part of you for giving you what you needed. You know that your mind has been repeating these same patterns to protect you over and over again, but the practice has become outdated. You know that it is time to let these patterns go because you have gained an update. You have better patterns now that allow you to respond in more efficient ways to transphobia and anti-Blackness. Ones where you can harness your frustration and anger and anxiety strategically to trick anti-Blackness and to trick transphobia out of its power. You know the old patterns have spoiled and are no longer effective. You have no fear in these new patterns. You have power in these new patterns. You know that these new patterns are within your reach. Turn your viewing screen to an on position as your life-changing program is about to begin. As the show is getting ready to start, I want you to imagine yourself floating up backwards from your seat. And as you move backward, you realize a version of yourself is still sitting in that comfortable chair. This calms you because you know that you can watch from a neutral point of view yourself experience what's about to play on that screen. So when you feel ready, let your mind move to that anxiety-inducing experience, knowing that you are safe and knowing that you are in a neutral viewing position. And once you have moved this memory up to the screen with your power, with your control, change those settings so that the memory playing on the screen is in black and white and drained of all color. You also realize you have the control to change the speed of the screening. You have the control to reverse or speed up the screening. You fast forward to just after your fearful reaction to this experience where you pause the scene. You realize the scene is paused right after your fearful reaction. You also realize that you are still safe. You are perfectly fine. See yourself on the screen having survived that moment of fearfulness. You are safe, you are relaxed, and you are under control. You let the scene fade away because you are now drifting back to another anxiety-inducing memory. You let the scene play. You change the setting so that the scene fades to black and white, draining the scene of all its colors. From the control booth, you are still watching yourself down in front in the comfortable chair. And the version of you in the chair is watching the younger version of yourself on the screen. You fast forward to just before your fearful reaction. You note the trigger moment for your fear and how the version of you on the screen reacts to that moment. Note the sounds in the scene. Note how those sounds affect you. You are safe. You are safe. You are in control. You play the movie until you reach the end of your fear. You reach the end of the frame of the scene and you freeze the scene. You realize you are safe. You realize you survived. Now that you have experimented with 2 memories, your mind is curious. You're an expert now. You're an expert at changing your possibilities. You're eager to dig deeper and change your most fear-inducing reactions because you are no longer afraid to rearrange these patterns. Now, you're looking for what has led to your very first fear-inducing moment. Remember, you are a neutral spectator watching yourself down in front, watching yourself on the screen. When I count down from 3 to 1, you will allow yourself to go directly to that original fear-inducing moment. The very first time you experienced your fear. 3, 2, 1. Go there now. You notice where it is. You notice where the younger version of you is on the screen. You notice if you are alone or with others. You really notice what your exact situation and activity is, and you let your deeper self observe and collect all the information in this scene, like the experienced scientist that you are. You play this memory You play this memory all the way through to the end and freeze the frame. You see yourself survive your first experience with fear. You are perfectly fine. You reassure yourself you are well. You have all the rest of your life to live. Now you look at the timeline of this scene from the control room soundboard, and you add in some silly sound effects or funny music playing over the scene. After you add some funny sound effects and funny music to the timeline of this scene, you play it from the beginning again. You notice just how ridiculous this scene is. You move back into yourself, down in the front in the comfortable chair. You watch this scene in black and white with the silly music from the comfortable chair. You notice if the version of yourself on the screen is feeling more confident. You play the scene to the very end and freeze the scene. You take notice of yourself on the screen. You notice all parts of you are remaining calm and in control. You realize you have the power to rearrange these possibilities and outcomes. This time, watching the scene, you float up and into the screen and land in the shoes of your younger self. You turn the scene into full color and you rewind the ridiculous and funny scene. You feel yourself moving backwards with the scene as you rewind it. You realize how ridiculous and funny it is to see yourself rewinding and reversing this scene. You reverse yourself all the way back to the first scene of this memory, and you change the scene to black and white again. You play the scene back again at whatever speed you want to. While the scene plays again, you feel exactly how it is you want to feel. You are relaxed and confident. While the scene plays again, you feel exactly how you want to feel. You are relaxed. You are confident. You are safe. And you are in control. You reach the end of the scene and freeze, and you turn all the color back on again. You realize you are perfectly safe. You realize you are perfectly fine and have the rest of your life to live. You realize you have found yourself on the other side of your fear. You breathe calmly. You breathe deeply. You feel the pride and confidence of standing here at the end of your scene, stronger than your fear. You realize you can come back to this room and change your possibilities whenever you wish, and play this scene anytime you wish because you are conquering your fear. You have conquered your anxiety. You are a conqueror. You are a fighter. You look at the universal remote and notice an icon showing the trash bin is full. It's full of old, fearful patterns and anxiety-inducing patterns that you no longer need. You permanently delete the fear-inducing patterns, and the universal control informs you that the fear-inducing patterns have been permanently deleted forever with no chance of recovery. You no longer need them. You no longer need your fear because your phobia is so much weaker than your strength and passion. You realize you have found yourself on the other side of your fear. You are safe. You are in control. You are calm. You are tranquil. And you will let this conquest seep into every aspect of your life. You are so much stronger than your fear. You realize that every moment you played has been changed for the better forever. You are happy, You are confident. You realize you have a new power and strength to face and overcome anything you choose. Congratulations, you have finally found yourself on the other side of your fear. You return triumphantly to your seat. You realize you have forever changed the algorithm within you, and there is no longer any fear. Now is the time to change the mechanism and erase all the fear. You feel yourself releasing all those fear-inducing patterns. You feel much stronger now that you are letting go of all anxiety. You feel stronger as you let go of all worry and fear. You are more strong than ever. And the screen fades away. You feel the weight of the world lifting from your shoulder. Your inner light is glowing so much more bright. As the room fades, you see yourself stepping into your brighter future. From this moment forward, you remain calm and relaxed in every situation. You choose your journey calmly and with ease no matter where you go or what you do. You remain calm and relaxed in any situation and around all people. Continue to relax as you float back into your dreams and all the information you have collected bleeds into the rest of your being. And as you move on in your waking life, you move on as a more confident person who stands strategically and tall in the face of transphobia and in the face of anti-Blackness, because you now have the power to program yourself to respond to those experiences. You are stronger now than those experiences. You are stronger than any fear-inducing patterns. Come back into your dreams. You think about what you're about to do next. You ignore the rest of my words, and you can choose to open your eyes and move on with your day, or you can choose to fall into a peaceful sleep. As you come back to your consciousness to make this decision, you realize that you have taken a step forward to become a higher version of yourself. You choose to fight for your liberation. And so now I will count upward from 1 to 5, and I will say complete awareness. And you will return to your consciousness and full awareness, completely recharged and replenished. 1. Slow and easily come back as you feel the energy return to your body. 2. You remain calm and tranquil. 3. From head to toe, you feel amazing. 4. Your eyes feel clear as if washed with crystal clear water, and you ready yourself to indulge in the pleasure of stretching out your limbs. 5. Complete awareness. Open your eyes wide and take a deep breath as you smile. Congratulations. You should congratulate yourself on the completion of this hypnosis. As I leave you, I want you to know that I would love to hear how your first experiences are in your waking life after this hypnosis session. Thanks so much for doing this hypnosis session with me. Go in peace.